Yes, yes, yes. We are back. It's Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo, and I miss this studio. And I miss you guys. Coming here from Lagos, as it's like homecoming. Nowhere like home, nowhere like home. And nowhere like nothing like sports, like you're going to get it here right now. It's been a celebration of celebration, excelling in anywhere we go. And it has to do with our daughters, our ladies, our mothers, our wives. What are you saying? The Tigress, Falcons, wherever you go, whatever they put their hands turns to gold. 4-peat, 3-peat it was, and then they qualified for the World Cup. But then the politics in the Basketball Federation and the minister that says, no, this is what I want to do, turn the team into not realizing that dream. But in order to tell you that, yes, winning it once was difficult. Twice was harder. But 3 times was, I tell you, people were saying, how can you perform that feat? And I said, okay, if we can do that, watch us do it. And here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, quad. I think, when 3 is 3-peat, I was asking Jimmy before we came on air and you that if it is 4, is it quadrupeat? I don't know. But those of you who understand the English language should let us know. But yeah, this is the Tigress, trouncing, yes. And I like the way they do it. I think I'm trying to feed up my head because sometimes this thing just pump in there. I think it was Jimmy Vardy when he did break that Ruud van Nistelrooy goal scoring record of scoring in I think 11 or so consecutive matches, 10 or 11 matches. It was against Manchester United. So he said, "You did that, and I'm going to do this." And our girls, Senegal, are the only country in Africa to win it thrice. And they say, in order to go for, beat the team that made it twice. So you know it was not a fluke. It was genuine. It was putting Nigeria at the world map. And there is no image launderer better than what our athletes are doing for us. Of course, there are still some ugly Nigerians. We shall look at that later on, but let us celebrate that which is worth celebrating. And moving from that, before I go to my guys in the house, because today it is going to be a celebration of the Super Falcons, a celebration of what they are doing, and then looking at tomorrow and saying, yes, nothing is impossible. Nothing they say is impossible. It is when you have it in your heart, you go over there and you achieve. Tomorrow, they face England. They met England to a thrice. Once at the competition, we got the World Cup in 1991 at inception, and we lost. But then we did beat them twice after then, though those are friendlies. But here is a competition. And my guys will dissect it. I will be joined by some legends of the game. So it is not just we that are here, it is for all of us that are going to look at it. So today is going to be the Super Falcons show. We celebrate with, but before we do that, let me bring in my guys in here. Jimmy.
You back. It's different having you on the other side and also having you in the studio. So a whole lot of difference. We just welcome you back, and I'm sure our viewers will be excited to have you back also. And also to the baby of the house.
Yeah, the big baby of the house. The Catalan.
Good to have you back. Good afternoon, guys. When I saw you this morning, I was elated. When I got that call yesterday, I knew something was up, but we'll talk about that one.
I don't want to put you guys on your toes. Sneaking on you if possible. I wanted to sneak into the studio while the show was already on, and then you guys would have mouth again. And that was it. But then at the surprise, I'm so glad having you guys. And I want to say thank you so much for you guys for all you did. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. I was afraid. I thought it was just going to be a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, and then ended into a lot of months for coming back home. But we are back here, and this team. I want to say this for this team. For those of you who are watching this show, this team has been on for over 15 good years. This team that you're seeing here, Okpe is not here. Yemi is not here. Obum also coming in together. We've been Sila Morogbe. We've been together for that long. I mean, this journey started since 2003. I tell you this, so it has not been easy. And having the guys do it for me while I'm not here tells me that yes, we already have a legacy. We'll have a chain of how it is going to be. But we can't say that the guys behind the camera, you don't see them, you don't know what they do for us here. I tell you, because doing this show, it's not like any other show. It is unscripted. So we get it done, and they flow with us. They say, look, if it is Sunday, anything goes on Sunday. But then the greater part of it has to be you guys over there. We'll open the lines today. You will join us the way you normally do. You don't forget that, no darling, like we say it.
Scared, I'm sure all affair would have been. All affair, how do?
Another of our constant callers, so you guys enjoy the show. So let's start. Where do we start? Let's start with the basketball. Of course, it's going to be a football show. Let's start with the basketball. How is it? Is it 4-peat or quadruple?
You could say a 4-peat. You could also say it's a quadruple. And I think what's most instructive is that we are seeing more of distrust. Now we are seeing people rise above adversity. They are Nigerians. And regardless of whatever shenanigans actually occur before competitions, we get to support our own. And I think it's very, very important. It's important for the national cause. Because at the end of the day, you look at it, these girls have done us proud. It doesn't matter who went to represent us, but we still saw some of the girls that have been part of the team, like Okonkwo. Maybe some of them didn't have, they were not fundamentally the core girls that used to make us proud. But at the end of the day, the likes of Okonkwo, Taiwo, Ogoke, they all made us proud. That's exactly what the game is supposed to be about. So we leave out, these ladies, maybe there had been issues with them. We can resolve that later. But on the pitch, they made us proud. And at the end of the day, what matters is that Nigeria has done it consecutively 4 times, a 4-peat. And nobody's going to reckon Rena Wakama, 31-year-old. A lot of us did it, like I said.
I want to tell you that you just went in there, and there was skepticism. They said, look, when she played, she wasn't an understanding player. She doesn't have an experience. How are you doing this?
So many cars.
She doesn't have that car to run.
Exactly.
But I was saying that when somebody didn't ask, okay, Amadou Shuaibu, how many matches did he play before he became one of our best coaches? Jose Mourinho, how many games did he play before he became whatever? So these are the things we know. So what? Take a little bit and talk about okay.
Now the thing is this: people, you are allowed to be skeptical. It's allowed, but do not outrightly try to bring someone down with talent. Giving this person a chance. When she, with less than a month of the tournament, she took over, and then, like Jimmy rightly put it, all the drama surrounding the build-up to the tournament itself. I told you I was at one of the tryouts that I saw at the National Stadium and all of that. And right there, I heard a lot of people saying cynicisms and sort of skeptical comments.
And naturally so.
Yeah, and it's understandable. But do not try to bring people down. At the end of the day, they are our own.
PhD.
They are our own. And ultimately now, they've gone up there, they've done the needful, and everybody is celebrating them. So what do you look like at the end of the day? Like you rightly put it, 31 years old. I can relate because we're born in the same month, and the same year. So all of this, you put it and you say, okay, fine, she's gone there now, she's done it. And you could see the happiness and the joy. I saw a couple of the games with which they were playing after games, dancing, celebrating. What more do you expect? This PhD syndrome we have done over here, find a way to just put it off. Let's go there, do what we are supposed to do. And at the end of the day, we are celebrating 4, not be beans, so Ken.
Not be beans.
So Ken, if you want to look at it also, I think what has played a major role is the fact that she's an administrator. She's not just a coach. So maybe that also played a major role. Management of the players. Because of the fact that, the players themselves, they will not most likely be in a good place. There are some of them that have played with the ones that are not representing the country at this point in time. So she has to be the one to stand up to tell the girls that, look, forget the fact that some of your mates are not here. You do the needful. They will celebrate. They will be joyous if you actually get to win. Because at the end of the day, what we need is that we should find a common place where these girls, those that are not played, those that are playing, will find a future reference point where we have peace in the federation, have peace for our national team. So I think as an administrator, he must have played a very huge role beyond our coaching prowess.
And I think Senegal will be sick of the sight of us because this is the first time.
They used to dominate now. It's our time.
But exactly.
Our local.
But in 2005, 2013, 2017, and now 2023, 4 times to the final. Senegal.
We have been the bogey team. They used to be the bogey team of the entire continent. But right now, we are not just that bogey team.
We have turned them into Mighty Jets and Benfica.
Wow.
The Balagot man.
The Balagot Marcos.
Was that a Bella?
Who knows?
Just like what Cameroon was doing to us before.
Exactly.
Our male team.
Yeah.
And that is the thing. So it tells you that, yes, this is it. If you have the match, I think the most important thing is you have the players, and then you have the management. Just put in there, synergize, get these people together, and see how it's okay. Final, we are working with one mind. But then something that baffles me is how the crisis in NBBF keeps on. In fact, if you remove, if there is ABC. You say C is always the problem. Okay, now you have removed C. Why is A and B now having the same problem? Maybe if you remove B and leave only A will not have a problem with itself. Because I don't understand.
Too many cooks spoil the broth. We always say something about the Basketball Federation. I would think that the fact that they are about the most sophisticated in terms of, education and also elocution, when you look at them, critically, our administrators, our basketball administrators, they are number one in the entire. They are self-made.
In their individual choice, they've all achieved.
Yeah. So how they are not able to find, that
common ground,
whereby, beat us all. Yeah. But it just says that too many cooks spoil the broth.
But even the few cooks are even the. Okay. There was the girls also scooped, almost all the individual awards, and also we are also right there in the team of the tournament. So of course it is natural that when you do this, that is what you get.
You needed to have seen how Taiwo and Balogun, they were shooting. The way they were shooting was so exciting to see, because it wasn't as if the Senegalese didn't also try as much as possible.
At the point, I think
it was like 3 or 4 points here. They tried to close the gap, but these girls came good, and we just give them the applaudis at this point in time. It's so good to see.
That 3-pointer that took it from, it was 78-74, and then you know, pram. The 3-pointer knocks it there.
And this is what we love to see in our sports. We want to be happy. When we go to the continent, let us dominate. We don't just want to be local champions. We wax lyrical about our abilities, our talents here, and we get to the continent, we are not able to replicate our successes. So it's good to see them, give us this fantastic feat to be joyous about.
Yeah, that's the trophy. That's Wakama. There she is. I mean, nothing beats that.
Exactly.
When you have worked hard. But look at the short, like you said, the period of time for you to put the team together. And then we said an inexperienced coach with inadequate time now achieve the maximum result.
Ken, this is an anomaly. And I don't think we should welcome it. But I don't think we should welcome it.
Yes.
But she has played
the funniest thing is, when we prepare well, most times we don't actually achieve. But when we have all these fire brigade approach, we have that momentous, gains. But at the end of the day, I would think that, this should inspire us to do better things. That, look, despite the fact that we're able to get these girls together for a couple of weeks, they're able to do wonders. So it will not now be about wonders on the continent, but about wonders on the global stage. So let's get better prepared. Let's get our houses in order for different federations. And I think, it will be good to see what becomes of our sports.
Yeah. Okay. That's we're visiting that. There is no way you can push that apart, because that is what it is. They've done a lot for us. And the girls has to be, be elated. The next is, getting there to go to the World Cup, like we said. The last time, they couldn't go. It was quite painful for a lot of us, because we said, look, no matter what you want to achieve, let these girls go. The players are not the administrators. And if they're asking for something which rightly is theirs, you do not punish them for that. It is like, you do not take the candy out of a child and ask the child not to cry. That is even more painful for the kid. But then from one achievement, from one success to another, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, I know we looked at them, we looked at their records before they left. The last 19 games before they left, they have not won. It was difficult. Scoring goals was difficult. They conceded the most goals in the history of the competition. The most losses as at 19, 63 and stuff. So we looked at all those things, and even with their build-up, a lot of us didn't believe that they were moving here. They were in a group that has the host Australia. They have the Canadian teams that is ranked 7th in the world. The Australians were ranked 10th, and then you have the Irish team that are ranked 22nd. So the Super Falcons ranked at 40th, were at the bottom rung of the rankings, and it looked like mission impossible. But then they started on a great note, not losing that game, to the Canadians. With our goalkeeper doing a yeoman's job, or is it a yeoman's job? I don't know. Did that, saved that penalty, crucial penalty, and saved the day for Nigeria. At the end of the day, that was why it led Canada going home and went on to beat Australia against all odds, playing against 11 women and playing against the entire crowd right there in Brisbane, at the stadium. But there were sprinkles of Nigerians who were there. It was in disbelief when went 3-1 up with Assisat being there at the center of the attraction. And before the Irish came, so okay, fine. It is now for the first time going at that party. It is not, yes, the computer is don't lose and you will qualify. Not if one person this, if the other team wins or the other team loses. But that is how it was. We needed not to lose, but we and that is what we did and qualified. But we faced England, gentlemen. Before we talk about this, because at least before some people will join us soon, right there on Zoom to look at all these matters. Africa generally.
I think I was one of the few people that expressed optimism about what African teams can get to do. South Africa, Morocco, Nigeria, Zambia. And I think I'm delighted because all of them.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Let me just put the. Well, let us go straight. Let us go live to Brisbane because I'm being told that the creamy one, Cecilia, is there to give us the update. Cecilia, I don't know what is it. Do we say good evening?
Yes, it's good evening from here because what time is 9:35 p.m. here in Australia, Brisbane.
9:35 p.m. in Brisbane. Yeah, don't worry, it is just 12:35 here. So that 9 hours is enough for us to catch some sleep. So what are the expectations, Sissy?
Yeah, they had a close training session on Thursday and Friday. On Friday and of course on Saturday. And then for today, that's where they decided to have their open training session, first 15 minutes to the media, and then they also had their press conference. So they've had time to prepare the tactics and everything. So I had the opportunity to actually speak to some of the players today. And the mood in camp is, yes, they can do this. Even one of the players even said something that England, yes, it's just a name, another European country. We've beaten European countries before, so England, European champions, but then we've beaten Olympic champions. So that confidence is in the team. And of course, for the coach, he said he has watched England game. He has seen what a coach could do using back three, which actually worked for them against China. So that he has taken. And then because of all this, for him, he feels that he's got the players, that confidence they've had at the group stage is what they're going to take into the game tomorrow. And also, in England, I mean, they came into town today. When I mean town, they came into Brisbane today. This evening, precisely, they were supposed to have a feel of the pitch at the Suncorp Stadium at 6:45 p.m. today. But they didn't come to 5 minutes before the press conference at 7 p.m. So we couldn't really, get close to most of them because all the trainings they had, the media opportunities were all done in Adelaide where they were based before coming into Brisbane. But at the press conference, Coach Serena Bigman, we know she's one of the most successful coaches when it comes to women's football. She won this the European Championships in Netherlands 2017, and then she took England to the finals of the Women's World Cup where they lost to France, in 2019. Of course, just last year she won the Euros with England. So when you're seeing a coach like that, since she came in, England had been successful, and even with the injury worries that they had going into the tournament, she's been able to turn it around, especially without their victory against China. So it shows that we are facing a very, very strong, solid, well-coached, structured team. But the kind of confidence the Super Falcons are having is infectious because when you hear the players talk, you listen to the coach talk. Uche Nakanu was the player that was at the press conference today. She was like, yes, we are facing England, but then if we could stand toe-to-toe with some other countries bigger, obviously will be able to get something out of the game against England. So that confidence is really high for the team. And I love what the coach said earlier at the presser when he said that they have no injury worries anymore. Okpara said we're thinking, maybe he said she may start, but he's not confident. But now I think she has recovered from her injury and she has had some time to train with the team before she was training separately and all that. She's had some time to train with the team. They observe her today and see if she'll be able to start tomorrow.
Okay, that is what because in fact that was the next question I was to ask you. To say any injury worries in camp? You know, how is the team doing and stuff? But like you are saying, is that we'll only be missing is it the lady with the card? What really happened? They said, you know, the extended.
Deborah had to review the card. You know, she got a straight red card in that in the game against. So she got a straight red card. So they have to review the card, review it. After reviewing the incident, discovered that she has to miss 3 games. So that's why she's out of the game. So she had to miss that last group game, of course, also missing this particular one. So if we make it to the next round in the quarterfinals, she will now be available for Nigeria.
Okay. You said you spoke with some of the players. How is their mood actually? How is the mood?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it's when they're talking, you feel the victory is sure. That's the level of confidence they are having into the game. For instance, Ashley Bronson told me that yes, she's played against some of the, you know, she plays in WSL in England, so she's played against some of these players, and she's anticipating. She's something she's been anticipating to play against them again. And one of the England players, the one who was at the press conference today, Greenwood, she said something about she has played with Ashley when they were at the youth level in I think Nottingham or something, and then not counting. Trying to remember the club now. That she described her as a very fantastic and talented player. So they will be meeting each other tomorrow. So some of these players that know each other, Asita, for instance, she has played with some of them in the Champions League, so they know each other very well. But then when you look when you listen to what the players are saying, maybe we can get some of them talking on the show. What they're saying, it's like they've seen England, they've seen what they could do, they know they can score goals, but they cannot underrate the Super Falcons. According to them, said when they were going to play Australia, they didn't take them seriously. It was after they've beaten Australia, their country started looking at them and started saying, oh, these ladies are really here for business. You know, the controversy surrounding Super Falcons coming to the World Cup. So everyone felt they were going to be overwhelmed, you know, as usual, come in and go out. You know, by the end of the day, all through the group stage, I mean, they didn't lose any game. You know, yes, they didn't win all 3 games. The first game a draw, goalless. The second one they win 3-2. The third one also goalless. But then they were unbeaten. So it shows that yes, a solid side. So that's why when they started talking, I could understand that if you have that confidence coming into the team, coming into a tournament, and then you enter the tournament, and then you've been able to achieve your aim, getting past a very tough group. I remember when this draw was done, we all tagged this group of death, because when you're having co-hosts and Olympic champions and all that, you're the least ranked team in that group and not getting most of the support that you wanted going into a tournament. You think it was going to weigh them down. But then that confidence that they have, and from what they're saying, it's just a game that you think if it's for mouth, so to speak, you say Super Falcons has already won this game from what the players are saying.
Okay, some are of the opinion that this game will be won right there, and you know, on the bench. That the bench will decide, you know, what it goes. You've talked about Serena, you know, Wegman, and then you look at how intimidating, you know, her resume is, you know, with the Netherlands, you know, taking them winning the Euros, and then also taking them to the final of the World Cup. Left them, went to England, now winning with England again. So it is something that we are saying, you know, compare with, you know, of course, you know, Waldron and the rest of them all. How do you see this? Do you see this tilting to England based on her experience, based on her being one of the best, if not the best, women's football coach around now? But then, you have just said there, our squaring up with the not losing to Olympic champions, to the host nation, beating Netherlands, of course, if their debut. How do you think this will pan out? What will what if you enter their head? What do you think will be taking? Somebody said that the Nigerian team is difficult to, they watch them. You don't know the pattern they're playing, so you cannot actually read them like a book. To say, okay, this is what they are going to do. It is difficult to know what they are going to come. They are feeling surprises. Thinking up along this line, do you think Waldrum can square up with Weghorst in this particular encounter?
Yeah, I mean, let's not look at resume. Let's not look at trophies. Let's not look at player for player. I mean, we really can't beat that. Kenny, you know that, right? So we're not going to, let's tear the resume and just drop it somewhere. Because I remember what the Republic of Ireland coach said. She said something that FIFA ranking is a fluke. I mean, how can they rank Super Falcons 40th in the world? That the way these players are played, they should be among the top 10. So also, let's throw the resume out. If we bring in that the coach doesn't stand a chance because he hasn't coached a country to win a continental championship. It's not easy for you to see a coach winning a continental championship. Just the last edition, he went to another country, also winning that same back to back, 2 different countries. I mean, and in between, she got to the finals of the FIFA Women's World Cup. I mean, she lost to, we know what happened in that one, losing to the US, of course. We know the Americans literally own this. Apart from they themselves and Germany happens to be the only countries that have won it multiple times, US 4 times, Germany twice.
Sissy, we have an update now. The USA is out of the World Cup. Sweden has just...
Okay, he went to 2 penalties and immediately I saw the way he went to
penalties. So the number one ranked nation is out, number 2 ranked nation is out, number 7 ranked nation is out. Wow. Is this what is happening in this World Cup, Sissy? This is your women's game. What is happening?
Okay, Megan Rapinoe missed a penalty.
Yes.
Interesting. The penalty. Okay, I'm just trying to look at after the extra time, 5-4 Sweden winning. You know, if you look at the Americans now, when they were coming here, I mean, even most of them agreed that if they're going to win, it's going to be difficult for them because you see the way it's changing. Some players have retired, they brought in new squad, and also you have a blend of old and new. Then there's also a new coach. When the former coach, she left, Brazil. So So you've seen that gap. So now Sweden taking out USA, you wouldn't think about that previously. But this is what is happening at this World Cup. 2 times champions, Germany, they are out. 4 times champions, USA, they are out.
Norway is out. The only remaining champion is Japan.
Yeah, Norway does go out. So I mean, you see what we're talking about now. And these are the countries. These are the countries that have won the World Cup 4-2, 1-1, each like that, 9 editions. So it tells you how tough this will be. So England, I mean, the coach Serena Wigman said to us that she wasn't going to be complacent against Nigeria. She wasn't going to underrate them because she has looked at the speed that we have. Is that speed? That's what she's going to study. She's looked at the speed. She plays back 3, and she said she was going to stick to that. Against China, it actually worked so well for them. And before they beat China, the other 2 games they played was just a long goal before they got their acts together and were able to beat China.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sissy. Thank you so very much. We're going on a break here, and when we come back, Sissy, I hope that in Nigeria we'll be thinking about why we join, our other teams on the Zoom. Stay with us. This is Channel Sport on Sunday. Okay, it is the ladies' show. This is in Brisbane. We also have legends right here in Anambra and in Atlanta, Georgia. But then let's go back to Sissy before we bring on the legends, because this show, like Sissy's here in Brisbane is courtesy. This show, our contribution to the show is courtesy of IBTC. Those are the official insurance partner of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Hello, Sissy. Let's just take it because you'll see that the young ladies are waiting to join the show.
All right. I mean, it's we've seen the offset, right? Norway out, Germany, of course, they left at the group stage. And now you're having USA 4-time champion out. As you mentioned, Japan happens to be the only country that won it before. They're still here. England is still here. Spain is still here.
Okay.
Of course, Netherlands is still here. Netherlands and Spain will be meeting each other. So they're going to cancel each other out. So it's becoming so predictable. Remember when the World Cup in Qatar started? It started like this. You have the big teams are falling off. And then at the end of the day, of course, the Argentines were able to win. So that's, I don't know, it's going to be so unpredictable. I think with what happened to the USA tonight, I think the English press that have been thinking it's just Super Falcons, they'll have to think twice now and look at the team. Do not underrate because they're lowly ranked.
Yeah.
I mean, Sweden, yes, you know, Sweden are big when it comes to women's football, but they've never won this tournament. I mean, they happen to be the first place that players were traveling to play women's football, you know, when women's football really started gaining ground. But right now, I mean, Sweden, they've taken out at the time, you know, Spain, of course, took over. Norway also taking over. France, of course, taking over. And England taking over. USA taking over. But now, you're seeing the Americans, holders, 4 times champion, they're out. They were going to become the first team, men or women, to win a World Cup 3 times in a row. But that dream has ended. And Megan Rapinoe, she said before this World Cup, this will be her final World Cup. And that's why she actually wanted to win it for the team. But unfortunately, they only stopped at the round of 16. It was coming because we spoke with some US journalists at the time. The one that said he was going to supporting Super Falcons, said because he's not convinced with what the USA team, what they've been playing, that he is not convinced. So he's going to switch his support to Super Falcons of Nigeria because he said he loved the way they play. He loved the resilience that the US team are not playing as champions. They are not playing as a team that came to this tournament to win. And that's what we've seen. They're already out.
All right. Thank you so much, Sisi. I know this is courtesy of Stanbic IBTC, the official insurance partner of the Super Falcons. So, Sisi, we're waiting to get the good news with you. Your next report will be the Super Falcons going into their quarterfinals. All right, that's Sisi. Thank you so much for joining us. And then we switch. Like we said, it is the Super Falcons show. And then what did the Super Falcons show without the Super Falcons themselves? They were the Falcons before they became the Super Falcons. So let's see. We're going to Anambra, and then we are also going to Atlanta, Georgia, to join the Super Falcon Stars. Where do we start from, guys?
Anyone?
okay. Let's start.
Anyone.
Let's start. Okay. We don't want to let out of the bag now. But we have Maureen Madio right there. She's smiling. She's always cute. And there is also Nkiru Okoseme. Nkiru. So let's start from the very beginning. So we are starting with Nkiru. Let's start with Nkiru. Nkiru is the first captain. We debuted when the World Cup started in 1991. Nigeria was there, and then someone led us there as the captain, the skipper of all the skippers that came after, and that is Nkiru Okoseme. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. Nkiru, yeah, I know what the time is. I know we key you up. I know how it is for you to be part of this show.
I know.
How are you feeling with what is happening in Australia by your babies, the Super Falcons? You were the first leader.
It is really exciting. Actually, it's a very, very exciting time in female football right now. It's really exciting, yeah, to see what is happening, how the teams are playing, and of course the exit of the big guns. So it's an exciting time in female football right now, and I'm really excited.
Your second team is just out, USA. Nkiru.
That's interesting because yesterday I was having a conversation with another Falcon, Olaiton Yusuf. Okay. Over the phone, and we're talking about the US team. I was saying, you know what? I'm going to predict that Sweden was going to beat US. And I mean, you could tell from the first of the game, did not play to the standard to which, we know them. So their team in this World Cup is really, I wouldn't call them top gun. Yes, they're in their transition stage and lots of injuries. All of this affected them, but I mean, they're not playing like to the stage that we know them to be playing. So we're talking yesterday, and I said, you know what? I think Sweden going to beat US. It might go into penalties, but I think Sweden is going to win. And that's exactly what happened. So it's just one of those things.
You called it. You called the game. That is exactly what happened. You called it. Okay, let's Nkiru, stay there. Let's go to Maureen, the second generation, because you started in '91 and then Maureen joined in '95. Hello, and then let's go to Maureen Madu. Let's go to. I mean, we have ladies in the house, we have queens in the house. Maureen, how are you? How are you? Hello, Maureen. Okay, Maureen is not okay. Well, we'll try and get her back. She was there a few minutes. She was there some moments ago. So let's see. So let's stay. When Maureen comes back, you guys put her in. Let's stay with Nkiru. Nkiru, I want to stick with you on the US team. You said a few new players coming into the team and others phasing out. But what of the issue of the coach? I mean, the way Jill was handling the team does it have any does it have any effect with the result that we're having here if she was still in charge?
To tell you the truth, I wouldn't say. I don't know, but I just know that like some teams, you get to a stage where you have to transition between the present team, the older teams going out, and the younger team coming in. So they were caught in that transition. Now, what is the coaching issue with the team? I wouldn't say for sure because I wouldn't know. I don't know much about this present coach other than what I've heard, just seeing him and what he's doing. I don't know in detail a lot about him, so I can tell whether his coaching actually imparted the team. But what I know for sure was the team chemistry and how they normally would play, it wasn't like that. And also, like I told you, I was having a conversation with Delight, and she mentioned to me that in an interview with some of the US players, they mentioned that it's not they're not playing. People think they're not playing. It's just that the level of the game has risen, and the teams are playing much, much better than they used to play in the past. So you could also look at it from that aspect as well, that a lot of countries are closing the gap between what we consider the top teams, the big guns, and the smaller teams. The gap, you can see this World Cup has actually become really small. So they're saying that's part of the reason, and we're looking at them to say they're not playing. But for me, in general, I don't think the team is as strong as it used to be in terms of their ball movement, the attacking prowess. It's not really there.
Okay, come back to Mother Africa, Nkiru. You guys were there in China. I don't know what you I don't know what you ate when you were playing in China, but you guys were in China, and you got some good baptism, when you
we did.
When you're from China in '91 to '95 when you went to Sweden, and there was some little bit of baptism too. You were still learning the curve. It wasn't until '95.
Exactly.
It wasn't until '99. It wasn't until '99 that you found your feet and say, okay, now that we have learned, we can do this. You understand? So take that, look at it. The Moroccans just made their debut in this tournament. Nigeria has been there, of course, all the while. This is our 9th tournament. The South Africans have been there, in the last few tournaments. I think this is the second or third tournament there, and then the Zambians. 3 out of 4 African teams coming out of the group stage. I mean, what are you seeing as the future of female football in Africa? With what ripple effect do you think this will have on football in Africa?
I think first of all, with this result, like a good result, it will ginger and motivate, more younger girls to get into the sports to play. Especially when you look at a team like the Moroccans, which are hindered a lot of times by religious issues, hinder the girls from playing. I think this time more players and more countries in Africa will try to participate, and hopefully the government behind these countries and the systems that be will now bring more support into the sports, knowing that these women can actually truly represent the continent. So I think what's happening right now is just going to create this big momentum for teams, a government to support, individuals to come in and support these women, and create also a better league where we can produce more of these kind of players. And at the same time raise the standard of the game, because when more players come into play, you get more a better organization, better coaches come into the game, and it tends to improve the standard of individual players. So I also think the explosion of the female league in places like Europe, allowing some African players to go over there and play, also helped, to bridge that gap and to see more of African women playing in these kind of leagues. But I think we can do much more within the continent of Africa in terms of helping our women develop leagues, competitions, good ones that we can play, not just within Nigeria, but also, inter-competition within African female clubs, not just waiting for the championship, African Women Championship, to play every 2 years or so. So with this, now I think the women have shown that they can play, they can do a little bit much better, actually, than their counterpart, the men. So I think it's going to generate a lot of interest and motivate more younger women to come in and girls to play the sports.
You talked about the league going to play European League. Of course, rubbing shoulders with the best out there. Of course, it used to be the Scandinavian countries and the German nation that were there. Sweden, Norway, Germany, maybe to an extent Denmark, before the other teams now started running around. But even as at then, as at 1991, 1992, you guys were playing for Nigeria. The former babes, the Omidoro babes, a lot of them were Jegede babes, were all here. You were having a good league here, were you not? In a local league in Nigeria?
Yes, we had a local league coming to 90, actually more of it in 95, 91, not so much, but 95, yes, the teams start coming up. But still, there's still a lot of gap to bridge, because now you're talking about going to play in Europe, going to play with these ladies who've been playing for a longer time. There's something, you talk about experience, you talk about coaching, you talk about a lot of little things that come into play that we're now starting to get. It's just like, look at the men's league now. The men on the men's side, when our players are from players all over the world, so they're going to Europe, playing in the Barclays League, they're playing in Spain, they're playing in France. Now most countries have all of their players playing these big leagues, and what happens to the national teams is also bridging the gap. So this is exactly what is happening when players are exposed to a better league, better players, and you start to play, you start rubbing a shoulder with them, and you go with them toe to toe. It kind of trickles down to wherever you're coming from. So if you have 3-4 players playing in Europe, it trickles down that when they come back to their country or to the national team tend to be a little bit stronger because of the experience that they're bringing into it. So I think that's the reason why we see this gap closing a little bit with the female football.
Okay, we're going to battle against England. We're going to battle against England in some hours time, less than 24 hours. We'll be there at 8:30 tomorrow morning, Nigerian time. I know you'll be awake. You'll be awake to watch that game. I'm very sure.
Yeah, we have to watch it.
But you've gone into such battles a lot of time with the Super Falcons. What should the players be doing now? Should they be talking with themselves? Should they be listening to the coaches? I mean, how should they be preparing their mind, to go into that thing, knowing that, yes, we are facing a team that is the champion of Europe and being coached by one of the best tutors around, at present. What should the players be doing? Go back to what you guys were doing in 91, 95, 99, all the time that you were representing Nigeria. And then say, okay, this is what they should be doing at this point in time to get, a good result tomorrow against the English Lionesses.
Really, when we're preparing for like a big game or a game that we know that's going to talk, first of all, the night before or during the time we get together, have our little songs, have our little team prayer and everything. And then we come together and then we start having a little meeting where we talk to each other and say, hey, this game is going to be tough, but we have to step up and match up with it. Everyone just have to put in their best. Like one of our former coaches used to say, the late Goody, I said, if you want to cut off your toe, cut off that toe, but you have to play. We just have to come out determined. You already set your mind that this is going to be a tough game, but you set your mind this is going to be a hard game, and you set your mind that you're going to win. We set our mind that we're going to come out collectively, play together, no giving up, no nothing. We're just going to play this game to the end. And it's almost like we say, it's going to be a do or die game. That's how you set your mind. You say this game is going to be a do or die. Get on the field, you put everything down, lay everything down, do whatever you need to do. We're not letting down on this game. So that's the mindset that we come up with. Come together, have a little meeting, talk to each other, try to ginger each other up and say this is going to be a do or die game. That's how we're going to into the field and play this game.
Okay, and Nkiru herself, how do you prepare for such times? Who do you talk to? For viewers, for those of you watching, Nkiru played for Nigeria. Nkiru's father, Cyril, kept for Nigeria. Nkiru's elder, Nkiru, yourself and Ndubisi, I don't know who is the senior. Ndubisi is your senior? Ndubisi is your senior?
Yes. Most senior.
Nkiru's elder brother, Ndubisi Okwesimi, also played for Nigeria. So we have a family. Do you talk to them before you know, bros, I go play this, what you have, what you make, do you get anything from the home?
Bros is not around. You know, a lot of times you're in camp, so he's not around. He's most of the time he's in Europe or somewhere playing, so he's not around. So I'm in camp, so I just have to do it with, you know, with the rest of my teammates. So that's how it is. I mean, at that time, now you have cell phone where you could call, do a Zoom call.
Yeah.
But at that time, we had none of these things. You're not going to call anybody. You can. He's in Europe. He's, you know, tending to his business.
You don't want to write a letter. You don't want to write a letter before you go and come back.
You know. And maybe if you try to do anything, maybe the NEPA might seize the light and you're never going to get that. So we don't have what we have today in terms of communication. So if I'm in camp, it's just me being in camp with the rest of my teammates. So that communication with him to talk about those things. No, you just have to build yourself up mentally to say this is going to be a tough game. You've trained for this. And I think that's one of the biggest things for you to understand what actually gives a player confidence. You say to yourself, I've trained for this. Yeah. I'm well prepared for this. We've done what we need to do to get us ready. It is now in our hands to step on the field and play. That's how you have to see it. It's in your hands to step on the field and play. You've been trained. So you go on the field and try to do your best. That's how it is. You have to be mentally strong to say, hey, this is going to be a tough game. It's not going to be an easy game given to you on the platter of gold. No, you have to go in and earn it. You got to go in and work hard and win. That's how it is. So when we were going into play, even when we played against the US that we lost, I think 7-1, we went into that game believing that we're going to win. We went into the game believing that we're going to play. We know they're tough. We know they're top ranked, but we're going inside to do our best and to play. When we played against Denmark, the same thing. We won Denmark. We went inside the game.
Just hold it there. We are going on a break. When we come back, we'll try and bring in Maureen. I will come back to you. So we're going on a very short break. We have the legends in the house. I have the team here. I mean, they've not been talking. They've been part of this conversation and that if it's possible, I think this Oliver Twist might also open the lines so that we can hear from you guys. Stay with us. It is China Sport on Sunday. We are back and we are fully back. Okay, you're welcome back. It is still, as we say, Channel Sport on Sunday. And I hope I won't have to apologize to our fans if we can't get it. Because the Super Falcons show, Okwe Miajola has just joined the show. Okwe, you're welcome.
Thanks again for having me on this 4x4 weekend.
4x4 weekend?
It can be better.
Okay, 1?
Yeah, the Tigers.
2?
They've got 4.
They've got 4.
The 4 pits. The 4 pits. Okay, 4x4. 4x4.
You can't be better.
The 4 pits. Yeah. You can't have it better. You just trust our ladies. Anytime that they're going to play Nigeria, we'll show back and we'll just do that. Yes, they will do us proud. I'm not saying the Super Falcons can't do well, your Super Eagles not do well. I would not think we make me say such things. But I just know that.
You want to plead the fifth on that?
Our Nations Cup, I think since the 60s, we just had like 3 titles.
Yes.
Not just like we were 3.
Yes. 1980, 1994, 2013.
Why the Super Falcons?
So there's basis for comparison.
No, there's no basis. Because the Super Falcons, we know, the Super Falcons are like the Madrid of...
But I hope South Africa is coming. South Africa, I want South Africa. They lost this game today, but they played football.
They did play football,
yeah. They played football. Oh, my God.
Ken, should we get the administrative aspects right? They are not at our level.
Which ones now?
The South Africans. They are not at our level. We have the natural...
And that's exactly what has been helping us.
Guys are closing up the gap because they are having the structures in place. Look at Morocco. Arab nations, see what their female side are doing, despite the cultural.
You want to compare Morocco that in 2009 actually did invest like $65 million into that football. Their own league, they invested $65 million 3 years ago for their own functional women's league. So there may be a difference in terms of what we're able to do, but in terms of quality, quality of the talent, I actually do agree with Okoyemi when he says that if we are able to get it right and we throw away all the malfeasance and the shenanigans that normally go without football, we will be doing fantastically well on the globe, not just the continent.
Okay, let's still go back. We'll be trying to get more, we've not brought more in back, but let's see if we still have Nkiru Okoseme. Like we said, Nkiru was the first captain of the Super Falcons in 1991. She was there in 1990, 4 years there, 95. She was there in 1999. And then they play in America. Now she's, I don't know, because, I won't even ask her any question that has to do with the negative about America, because I don't know where I know. So, Nkiru, the guys are in the house. Maybe they have 1 or 2 questions also they will ask you. But like we said, what are your expectations for tomorrow?
Well, I expect us to come out strong, and I expect us to play. Just lay everything on the field. I think we have, what I say, the potential to match up England. England has never been a country that ran us down. We've always played, our game with England has always been competitive. We've played them, we've gone to, 03 went to England and played a friendly game with them. It was a tie. We should have actually won that game. So, yes, the English team have a good team, but I think that if our players come out to play, to attack, play some attacking football, it's established that we have a good defense. That's been established in this tournament. But what really has not been established is our attacking power. I think we've not fully, what's the word to use now? We've not fully used our attacking power in the capacity that we ought to have done. So in this game, it's going to be a test of that. If we fall back to just defending, then I think England is going to hurt us. But if we come out to say we want to attack, I think we can do damage to the English team. That's my belief.
Which of our players have caught your fancy in this tournament? I said they'll put in the work, and then with them there, you are quite sure that they can deliver the goods.
I think collectively the teams have done well. Kano have done well. I think when we came back to receive the legendary award, I think she received the award as the best player in the Nigerian league, and I mean she's showing that. So she's done well in that aspect, and I like her play. Of course, main striker, I see yet to live up to, in my view, to the potential I think she's capable of taking the country to. The other player, I'm trying to remember her name now, the one with the blue hair.
Rashidat Ajibade.
She's another. Ajibade, yeah. Yes. She's one player that if we're gonna hurt England, she's gonna be key to that. If she picks up her game, she's gonna be key to what we need to do against England into this game. There's one player that I'm really looking forward to. She and Kanu offensively. If Kanu can, pick up her game a little bit, I think the last game against Ireland, I think we kind of held back. We weren't really attacking. Maybe we're just comfortable with the tie, and that was okay for us to get us through. But in this game, a tie is not going to get anybody through. So we really need to come out and do some attacking. We saw South Africa today. If South Africa had sat back against the Dutch team, the score would have been even more than that. But they came out to attack. They just were ready to play. They came out to attack. And even though they didn't make it, but we saw some good play from the South Africans. So if Nigeria can do the same thing today, if we come out and attack, I think we will do damage to the English team. That's what I believe.
Are you not afraid of the English attack? I mean,
when you play sometimes, yeah, I don't know in the mind of the present Falcons, but when you play, there are teams that you can really say, oh, this team can, they up there. Like you mentioned earlier, Australia was ranked, Canada was ranked.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my eyes, Canada is one of those teams. I mean, they recently started, doing better. But when you look at us coming from where we've come from, Canada shouldn't be. I was a little bit getting vexed that Canadians were crying that they tied us. We should be getting vexed that they're crying that they tied us, because regardless of their the ranking, they're not a team that's up there that when we play Canada that we should be they should be the one getting tears in the eyes for not winning. So I didn't rank Canada as high above Nigeria. I mean, that's just my personal thing. Then Australia too. These are not nations that are way better than us. No, they're not nations that started before us. No, I think that England is a team within our reach, regardless of their past record or their present record. I still think that if we go out against England, we can shut them down. I still believe that. That is, if we play. Right now, we've not been attacking as much. We've been a little bit more defensive-minded. But I think if we go in to attack a little bit, then we put England a little bit on the defensive. And when a team goes on the defensive a little bit, they can make mistakes, and anything can happen. So that's what I believe.
Are you saying it because you're a striker in the team?
well, I'm saying because the time we played England, it's not been that bad, you know. So England historically has not been a team that have shaken us. We've lost to bigger teams, Norway, the US, but England has not been one of those teams that we need to shake from. That's what I'm saying. We're not shaking against England. Yes, they have some good players. England has a good team. I'm not downplaying that any day. They have a good team. But England has not been that nation to shake us in female football. No.
Okay, my guys are in the house, but then for the viewers who are watching, the lines is just there. If you want to say anything to Nkiru, to the Super Falcons, to the four-pit, the four-pit basket, the Tigress, you just there. We promise we'll open the lines. I know we're doing it a bit late. Then you can join this conversation, and let's move it there. Gentlemen, you have anything to ask?
Oh, just that we should also be mindful.
Okay. We have our first caller, Chino. So how are you? So how are you?
I'm fine. My name is Chino Onya. I'm calling from Bida, the ancient city of the Nupe Kingdom in Nigeria.
Okay, go on.
In fact, I want to concord with what Mrs. Nkiru is saying, the former captain of the Super Falcons.
Okay.
The Super Falcons need to come out and play. Attack. We know we are good in defense, but what we need is attack. And we are supporting them 100%. You understand me? We, the fans of Nigeria and Super Falcons fans, we are supporting them 100%. Send our message to them that we are supporting them, and we want them to attack. Defense is good, but the best way of footballing is attack. So we need Ajibade and Oshola to do the damage for us, and Kanu also. They should do the damage, and they should work on the attack. Attacking is what we want. Defense is good. The keeping department is good, but we want the coach of the Super Falcons to work on the attack, like what our former captain of the Super Falcons is saying. So I like what the advice is giving to the Super Falcons. We want attack. Thank you very much. You know, so from Bida, the University of the Nupe Kingdom, Niger State.
All right, from Nupe Kingdom. I love that. I love the way he says it. I'm calling from Bida, Nupe Kingdom in Niger State. There is a lot of kingdoms in Nigeria. Nigeria is a collection of kingdoms. Our kingdom, you understand? The Benin Kingdom, the Oyo Kingdom. A lot of kingdom, the Canary Kingdom. Wow. The history.
Me actually did say, concord with me when I said, look, it is better for us not to try to contain. It is still safe as what we are saying.
Exactly, you guys are speaking the same language.
Because
I made a fear.
37.3% in possession is what we have on the average. 37.3. We are playing against a team that have on the average 72.3. So that means we are playing against a team that will come at us. So the best way is not to sit back, just go at them. So
because what I see, in fact, I'm not in the minds of their manager, but what I think, if I was in that position, I will ensure with the Super Falcons commit errors in strategic
places.
the only thing the English team can depend on in this game because I'm looking at a penalty shootout already, but the only thing they can look at, the pitfalls for the Super Falcons is
the attack,
them commit, because if you sit back too much, you commit
exactly.
Do we have players that can play the way the Japanese play?
I think we do. We have just no.
All right, okay. Let's take our next caller. Who's on the line? Kayode. Kayode, how are you?
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Kay.
Well done. I'm enjoying the show.
Thank you.
My own contribution is that with the Super Falcons, the major thing we need to work on, we have everything to match the English, the Lioness, but our psychological and mental strength is what that we need at a very crucial stage of the tournament like this. Because one of the things that the Europeans and the South Americans of this world who used to actually outweigh the African counterparts is this mentality, this psychological strength. At the tense, when the game is so tense, we need them. If we are leading by a goal to no, does that mean that we cannot attack again? Or we now want to sit back and defend us through? So these are the things that I feel the Super Falcons just need. And I don't know what it takes for the coach to make Asisat to gel in the attacking in that attacking sense. Ajibade is doing so well in the middle of the park. Kano is playing fantastically fine. We need our right back are doing well. We just need somebody at the front that will help us to carry the Super Falcons to score the goals that we need in this tournament. We have all it takes to match the Lioness, and I know we can actually be looking out for a victory against them.
I miss you guys. I love this. These are the things I miss on this show. Psychologically. Where is Nkiru there? Is Nkiru there? You have a question for Nkiru. Hello, Nkiru. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah. You say psychologically, how do you prepare the team psychologically? You said it before that look, we've worked, we've done it, we've trained, we are ready for this. I mean, after you were bashed 7 by USA, after you were bashed 8 by Norway, you still come outside and say, look, forget you are beating me. You know, in Nigeria, I say you will beat me strong.
Collect, I mean.
So psychologically, how do you want, you know, I know that you have a psychologist, but what would they be telling? What did your psychologist tell you at games like this?
Really, I believe that every Nigerian is strong mentally.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're playing in the league, right, back home when we played games and everything, you overcome a whole lot of obstacles that it prepares you mentally, you know, for the game. So right now, I think our mental state, it should be good. Our players should, you know, have that thing in their head that this is the Super Falcons. This is the Super Falcons. Regardless of even the score, we didn't win the last set. We are still the giants of Africa. And we're going against Europe. If that's the giant of Europe, that's how we consider it. It's us going against, we're still the giant of Africa. We're going to play against England.
Let's take this call.
They should be seeing it from that perspective. Not forgetting who they are. I mean, you didn't get super for nothing. You didn't
get super for nothing.
You get super. So if our players will just remember who they are.
All right, let's take this call. Hello. Hello, Vla. Victor, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
We're fine. Yeah.
Okay, I need to make my own contribution.
Go on.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I need to add to what Nkiru and the other callers have been saying. Yeah, I don't expect the Super Falcons to sit back and absorb pressure because if you look at the English team, they have James right there, and that lady is very sharp. You give her an opportunity and she will score us.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we need to attack, and let's get Asisa Toshola busy, so that they themselves will pull back, knowing that we have a striker there that could cause damage, and that will prolong the match. Eventually, by God's grace, we might have an opportunity to score. They will now decide how we are going to defend.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Victor.
You're welcome.
Because we're out of time. I want to say thank Nkiru, I want to say thank you very much for being part of this show.
Thank you.
We'll still be calling upon you. I know I don't want to use ungodly hours, but I know how to, women, you have to look good at this point. It is not easy. But we'll be calling on you. And then we'll be celebrating probably by next Sunday, or we'll celebrate. That's I will call you.
Go Falcons.
Go Falcons. Go Falcons.
So, I mean, for me, I think the most important thing would be for us to drop Oshola to the bench. We've seen that the young guy usually is something that has worked well for us. Maybe start a gift or Paranese. Infuse space in our transitional attack, because England had been struggling with transitional attacks, and I think we'll be good when we go all out there, go get them.
We
need a gift Monday tomorrow.
A gift Monday or desire of Panose for me.
Gift Monday.
Gift Monday.
We do.
Monday.
To start.
And she will gift it to us.
She will gift it
Monday.
Exactly.
Okay, you had them. Play them, let them make the mistake. Kiru say attack, attack, attack. And how do we
the caller said attack.
Go Falcons, go Falcons, go Falcons. Yeah, it is Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Kenneth Chonogo. I'm dropping the pen now. Victory to the Super Falcons.